tragic events can occur at any time. There is no pattern or logic to it. The way it changes lives in a matter of seconds is the only thing that can be said to be certain. These strange incidents can happen in a variety of ways, such as a fatal automobile accident, drowning, or even while skydiving, and it is bizarre when we hear about them happen to our favorite celebrities. Luckily, not all freak accidents are fatal. Hi, welcome to YouWannaWatch, and in this video, we're going to talk about 28 celebrities who survived freaky accidents. Number 1. Orlando Bloom. When Orlando was 19 years old, he fell 3 stories high when a drain pipe he was scaling broke off in 1998. According to Orlando, he was very fortunate to survive the fall because his spinal cord was still intact. When he was in the hospital, he was informed for the first 4 days that he may never walk again. Orlando described it as a long and painful journey toward his full recovery. After his fall, he underwent surgery and began a long recovery process. Of course, the actor recovered completely and is now in good health, and the injury did not prevent him from achieving a number of professional successes. However, despite the years that have passed, Orlando Bloom has not forgotten what happened and, in fact, in 2021 he shared on Instagram a photo of himself riding a bicycle in 1998, just 3 months after his fall. Number 2. Isla Fisher. Near drownings on film sets have occurred on numerous occasions, and the story of Isla Fisher is one that is rarely discussed. Isla played Henley Reeves, also known as the High Priestess, an escape artist and magician, in the film Now You See Me in 2013. Isla's character was forced to perform one of Harry Houdini's most dangerous illusions, the water torture cell trick. This entailed being chained in a large tank of water. During filming, Isla performed the trick in real time, despite some supposed safety precautions. None of them went as planned. According to Isla in a 2013 interview with the Daily Mail, the chains that bound her became entangled. If something went wrong, Isla could press a panic button at the top of the tank. There was also a safety diver on standby with oxygen in case things went wrong. However, Isla could not reach the panic button because the chains were tangled. Isla managed to untangle herself in the nick of time to complete the trick after holding her breath for 2.5 minutes, and the whole thing plays out intact in the film. Number 3. Gerard Butler. In 2011, Gerard Butler came dangerously close to death while filming Chasing Mavericks. He was seriously injured while filming the surfing drama. A huge wave can be seen crashing over Gerard's head, trapping him beneath the water for nearly a minute. Gerard was caught in a 2-wave hold down, which occurs when one wave knocks a person too deep to reach the surface before another wave arrives. Number 4. Rachel Bilson. Rachel Bilson claims she was involved with the wrong group of friends as a teenager and received a wake-up call when she was in a terrifying car accident. Rachel explained that the group was driving down the California coast when they were involved in a head-on collision, which caused her to be in a coma for several days. Number 5. Bethany Hamilton. Bethany, who was born in Hawaii, was 13 years old when she went surfing with her best friend Alana in 2003. A 4.3-meter tiger shark attacked the teenager while she was lying on her stomach on her surfboard, biting off her left arm just below the shoulder. Alana and her father assisted Bethany in returning to shore. They created a rash shirt into a tourniquet and wrapped it around the stump of her arm. Bethany lost 60% of her blood in the ambulance on the way to the hospital and went into hypovolemic shock. She later claimed that she didn't feel the shark bite her. She remembers feeling dizzy and numb, but she remained calm and clung to an inner strength she had no idea she possessed. Number 6. Charlize Theron. Charlize was nearly paralyzed thanks to some stunt work that she did on the set while filming Aeon Flux. She had landed on her neck while filming a scene for the action movie, a situation she claims was a freak accident. The injury was only the beginning of Charlize's long road to recovery. According to Charlize, she had 8 years of pain management and was unable to eliminate the spasms and nerve damage. She had a neck fusion in 2018 and it was the best thing she could have done after the accident. Charlize also stated that her body is back to normal. Number 7. Harrison Ford. Harrison, like the characters he is known for, narrowly avoided death when the plane he was flying lost power and he had to crash land on a golf course, leaving him in the hospital for a month with broken bones and a laceration on his head. Number 8. Halle Berry. Halle told an interesting story about the time she almost choked to death on a fig until she was saved by James Bond, himself, Pierce Brosnan. This particular case of almost choking to death came when Halle was portraying NSA agent, Bond girl Jinx Johnson in 2002's Die Another Day. Number 9. Chevy Chase. A stunt sequence went wrong on the set of the film Modern Problems in 1981 when the suit Chevy Chase was wearing, which was adorned with lights, malfunctioned, resulting in an electricity surge coursing through his neck, back, and arm, disabling his motor system and causing him to lose consciousness. Fortunately, the comedian survived. Number 10. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock nearly died after a terrifying encounter with a plane in 2000. Sandra and her boyfriend at the time, musician Bob Schneider, were flying from Austin, Texas to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on a twin-engine Hawker corporate jet when it skidded off the runway, according to The Guardian. Fortunately, Sandra, Bob, and the 2 pilots on board were unharmed, but the aircraft sustained significant damage. Number 11. Padma Lakshmi. Padma was in a car accident in Malibu, California that resulted in a fractured right hip and a shattered right upper arm. The arm injury necessitated surgery, and she was left with a 7-inch scar between her elbow and shoulder. Number 12. Mariska Hargitay. A 1967 car wreck instantly killed Mariska's mother, Jane Mansfield, on a New Orleans interstate but spared her and her 2 brothers, who were in the backseat. Mariska was just 3 years old when her mother passed away. Number 13. Nikki Taylor. Nikki was riding a friend's car in Atlanta when another car ran off the road and hit a utility pole. According to the police, the driver of the said vehicle apparently looked down at his cell phone before losing control of his Nissan Maxima. Nikki, who was wearing a seatbelt, initially appeared to be unhurt until she experienced severe abdominal pain. By the time Nikki arrived at the hospital, she lost nearly 80% of her blood. Her liver had been cut in half by the accident and she was flatlined twice. Number 14. Bono. The U2 frontman broke his arm in 6 places and fractured his eye socket, hand and shoulder blade in what he called a freak accident in New York. The hospital where Bono was being treated said he had been involved in a high-energy bicycle accident when he attempted to avoid another rider. The Irish rocker spoke about being on painkiller for weeks and said he had a massive injury he cannot blame on anyone but to himself. Number 15. Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan was involved in a horrific accident in 2014 when his limousine was hit by a Walmart semi-truck and burst into flames. The crash claimed the life of Tracy's friend, comedian James McNair, and left him with severe injuries, including traumatic brain damage. Months of rehabilitation were required for his recovery, during which he had to relearn how to walk and speak. Number 16. Sean Kingston. In 2011, rapper Sean and a female passenger was hospitalized after a jet ski accident that happened in Miami. His jet ski was slammed into a bridge, catapulting him and his unnamed passenger into the water. Sean said that he was knocked unconscious when he hit the bridge. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. After 11 days, it seemed he was getting better. However, upon leaving the hospital, Sean felt a stabbing pain in his chest. Thankfully, doctors were able to perform surgery and discovered that he had a torn aorta. Number 17. Gloria Estefan. Gloria Estefan was on tour when her bus was involved in a horrific accident during a snowstorm. The vehicle was rear-ended by an 18-wheeler truck, and she suffered a broken vertebra in her back, which doctors thought would prevent her from walking or dancing again. Her career was halted while she underwent months of rehabilitation, during which she realized the accident had given her fame meaning. Number 18. Gary Busey. In 1988, Gary Busey was in a motorcycle accident that completely changed his life. He was rushed into brain surgery after being thrown off his bike and into a curb, splitting his skull. Gary claims that he died on the operating table and had a spiritual experience in which angels gave him the option of continuing his destiny or remaining in the spiritual realm. While he chose to return to Earth, his brain injury required him to spend months relearning how to walk and talk. Gary's family says the accident was traumatic for everyone involved, but he says it was all part of his journey. Number 19. Kaley Cuoco. In September 2010, Kaley, who is a longtime horse jumper and competitor, was riding a horse in Los Angeles when it got spooked and she fell off. Seconds later, the horse attempted to jump over her but landed on her left leg. Kaley was rushed to the hospital with severe injuries and nearly had to amputate her leg after the serious equestrian accident. Number 20. Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo was traveling to the homeland of his Russian grandparents to attend the conference on protecting endangered Amur tigers. It should have been a relatively simple journey, but Leonardo got the shock of his life when spotted his plane's engine had exploded. Describing it as the scariest moment of his life on Ellen in 2016, Leonardo said, "I was looking out of the window and the entire engine had turned into a fireball." Number 21. Kylie Jenner. Kylie revealed that the scar was caused by an intense game of hide and seek with her older sister Kendall Jenner as a child. Kylie claimed that while they were playing, she hid within an extremely tall enclosed gate. When her sister couldn't find her after a while, she climbed up a sharp pole sticking out from the gate. She slipped, and the pole lodged in her leg. Number 22. Zac Efron. While taking a break from filming of The Greatest Showman and working out in London with Hugh Jackman, Zac narrowly missed death when he nearly collided with a double-decker bus. According to Zac, while he cycled and following Hugh around a few cars, suddenly there was a double-decker bus right in front of him. He slammed on the brakes and went under the front tire of the bus. Number 23. Travis Barker. Travis Barker's life was forever altered in 2008 when he was involved in a deadly plane crash that killed several of his closest friends. The plane's tires blew out during takeoff, resulting in a crash and a fiery explosion. Travis was able to escape through an emergency exit, but he was left with third-degree burns on 65% of his body, 26 surgeries, and was left with mental health issues. Travis says that while he has struggled with PTSD since the accident, things have begun to improve over time. Number 24. George Clooney. The actor experienced a terrifying on-set accident while filming Catch-22 in Italy. George Clooney was riding his motorcycle in Italy in 2018 when he was involved in a terrifying accident in which he collided with a Mercedes vehicle. The force of the collision shattered the car's windshield. We are nearing the end of our video, but before we proceed, we would like to ask you to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/c/YouWannaWatch2022 and follow us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/YouWannaWatch. Any support you provide us will help us provide you with more and better content. Okay, now back to the story. Number 25. 50 Cent. 50 Cent was shot 9 times during an incident outside his grandmother's home in Queens, New York, in 2000. He was shot in his legs, hands, and face. Both of his legs were broken in multiple places. And while his injuries were horrific, the story helped build his brand in the early years. According to 50 Cent, the man who shot him is dead, and the one who paid him got life in jail. Number 26. Kanye West. Kanye West was involved in a car accident that left him with serious injuries before becoming famous as a rapper. Kanye fell asleep behind the wheel of a rented car in the early hours of the morning, just 2 weeks after signing his first record deal. He was left with a shattered jaw that required reconstructive surgery as well as wire closure. Months after the accident, Kanye said he was still learning to rap, but he eventually recovered and wrote through the wire about the experience. Number 27. Alison Brie. Alison Brie was 7 years old when she was involved in an accident that nearly blinded her. Alison suffered a concussion after a hard fall on the playground, but things only got worse from there. On the way to the hospital, she began to lose her vision and, in her panic, her father was involved in a car accident, tossing her to the floor of the car. When Alison arrived at the hospital, she was told she would most likely be permanently blind if her vision did not return within 12 hours. Fortunately, her vision returned when she woke up 10 hours later. The accident has left no lasting impacts on her health, although she has very few recollections of the whole ordeal. And finally, at number 28, we have Jeremy Renner. On New Year's Day, when Jeremy Renner was attempting to try and remove his snow plowing machine, tragedy struck when the actor exited the vehicle and successfully removed it. In his attempt to re-enter the uncontrollable moving machine, he was run over and suffered numerous injuries that put him in critical condition. The actor eventually responded with a tweet thanking all of his fans for their support. Someone wrote it for him because he confirmed he couldn't write in his current condition. What do you think about the celebrities on this list and their freaky accidents? Did we miss anything that you think should have been included? Let us know your thoughts by writing a comment on this video. If you're interested in our other videos, just hover over the videos and just press play. Until next time, watchers, thank you for watching our video.